Da 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 da. Hi everyone, it's Mr. Alqamoussi, and today we're going to explore two types of sentences called the independent and dependent clause. We know that a sentence is a set of words which come together to form a complete thought. But this raises an important question. Does that mean that every complete thought is necessarily a sentence? These four sentences, for example, are all complete thoughts. But one of them is not a complete sentence. Why? In what way does it differ from the others? Well, there's a difference between complete thoughts that can stand alone and complete thoughts that need support from other thoughts, meaning that some sentences are independent, while others must depend on other sentences to complete them. In this lesson, we'll examine each of these types of clauses with explanations and examples. Let's begin with the independent clause, which is a clause or phrase that can stand alone as a simple sentence. We will examine the meaning of a simple sentence in a future lesson. But for now, the most important criteria of this sentence, or clause, is that it can stand alone. These examples are all clauses that bear a complete meaning. More information could certainly be added, but no further information is necessary. They are independent clauses, as they are. These examples, on the other hand, are all clauses, but upon reading them, they certainly seem awkward and incomplete. These types of clauses are dependent. They are clauses or phrases that cannot stand alone as simple sentences. So what's the point of a dependent clause? How can it be useful if it can't serve a complete function? Well, independent and dependent clauses can be combined to form more complex thoughts, which we actually call complex sentences. In most cases, you can even switch the order of the clauses and they will still bear a complete meaning, but only when using the proper punctuation. In this case, a comma would be necessary if the dependent clause were placed before the independent clause. This is one of the functions of the comma. In future lessons, we'll explore the many other functions of commas, as well as other types of punctuation. But for now, it's important to recognize whether a clause is independent or dependent. So let's review what you've learned so far about these two types of clauses. Number your page from 1 to 9. In a moment, you'll see some clauses. Try to determine if the clause is independent or dependent. Remember, clauses are only independent if they can stand alone without additional information. You may begin. And now, here are the correct answers. I hope this video helps you distinguish between independent and dependent clauses. Thanks for watching.